WVEC TV, Hampton.
Time for Buttons Wave or two, and here we go.
This is Jeff McKay, ABC News.
Regularly scheduled programming will not be seen at this time, so that we may bring you the following special presentation. WVEC TV and the City of Hampton welcomes you to the Spirit of Hampton Road's Holidays Parade. Sponsored in part by Thompson Ford. By Conti's Bicycle and Fitness Equipment, your family's first choice. By McDonald Garden Center, where people and plants get together. And by your Southeastern Virginia Ford dealers.
Barnstorff. It's a wonderful night for a parade in downtown Hampton. Temperature in the 50s, a little windy, but it doesn't seem to be bothering most of the people who are here. The parade has almost arrived to be in front of the viewing stand. We start out with the Hampton's finest. It's almost directly behind me here in beautiful downtown Hampton, close to the Virginia Air and Space Center and Hampton Roads History Center. You can hear all of the people in the background cheering on as the Hampton Police Color Guard passed by. The Hampton Police Honor Guard takes part in many special occasions here in Hampton, not just parades, but also police memorial services. It's a special group. They train all year long to represent the Hampton Police Department. Now, these people should be familiar for all of you. Terry Zahn, who will be joining TV 13 come next spring, and Barbara Sierra, our 6 and 11 anchor, two of the most fun journalists and two of the most credible journalists in Hampton Roads. Happy to be here. And before, when it was raining, they were thinking, well, maybe they'd have to have umbrellas up. But now, as you can tell, it's great, it's gorgeous, and they're getting a really warm reception. We're happy to welcome Terry to TV 13. Now, these people who are walking behind Terry and Barbara, John Miller, who's just gone over to shake a hand, and he is the early morning show, Good Morning Hampton Roads host. Velma Scaife also is now hidden by the Jeep. She's with me on the Peninsula. Sandra Parker is hidden by the Jeep. She is also with Good Morning Hampton Roads. And I want to tell you, John Miller will soon be leaving the parade so that he can come join me here on the reviewing stand.
Hi, Kathy. How are you doing?
I'm fine, John. How are you? How's it been?
I'm doing great. There's a lot of folks in the parade. Great enthusiasm. It's a great night to be out. Frosty the Snowman, Santa's right behind. Keep watching. I'll be up with you in a second.
Well, John will be joining us in just a few minutes. As he said, you know, we have 80 units here in this parade tonight, 8 bands from both sides of Hampton Roads, and also 20 floats. So you're in for a great time this evening for the next hour. This is Oldies 95.7 Radio. Happy to welcome them. And this is kind of a different holiday spirit. Boating. Great night for boating, though. Oldies 95.7 plays oldies all the time. And they're happy to be here at the Hampton Holidays Parade. Now, Friends for Life is from Kecoughtan High School. The Hampton Police Division, with support from the Friends for Life Club, are working together to promote safety while driving or riding on vehicles through local schools and other police division activities, such as safety road checks and child safety seat checks. Literature is also being given out tonight on this float, explaining why the use of seat belts and child safety seats saves lives. And there are the dummies that you see in so many of those commercials for seat belts. Now, Exchange clubs, of course, do a lot of wonderful work throughout Hampton Roads. That's one of the Hampton Fire Department paramedic units. And so if you're going to buy a Christmas tree this year, we suggest that you buy it from one of those great charitable organizations, like the Exchange Clubs or the JCs or any of the Kiwanis. I don't want to avoid anybody. I don't want to ignore anybody. They're all great organizations, and they sell a lot of trees this time of year. Now, Olivia Duche's Fashion Model Academy offers exciting European-style training courses. We just saw them come by with some very European-style waving and fashion-forward models for males and females that train there. Now, if you recognize these uniforms, you're a big Star Trek fan. This is the USS Jamestown Starfleet. It's a non-profit international organization of Star Trek fans. Recognize the Klingons? This is the oldest Starfleet chapter in Virginia, and it was commissioned 11 years ago. Well, John has joined me up here on the reviewing stand, I'm happy to say. That gives us a little chance, maybe, John, to talk about the Hampton University Marching Force. We might want to listen for a while. Hampton University turned 125 years old this year. The band hasn't been around this year, but they sure have a lot of spirit.
They do, and they won last year's band competition for the college bands, and they're good.
Lots more from the 3rd annual Hampton Holidays Parade in downtown Hampton. We'll see you in a couple minutes.
Stay right where you are.
The Spirit of Hampton Roads Holidays Parade will continue after this.
Well, it's the Hampton Holidays Parade. Lots of people in the holiday spirit. You saw a number of people along the route.
There were a lot of people, a lot of enthusiasm, great night. Coming up now is the Peninsula Literacy Council and Conti's Bike and Fitness Float. The theme is strong minds and strong bodies, and there are volunteers of the Literacy Council and their families on the float. The resolution is this is the time of year when we have a lot of resolutions, and we ought to resolve to get in shape with the fitness equipment and also to teach someone to read, and do that by calling the Peninsula Literacy Council. We also want to thank the finest squadron in the Air Force, the 1st Civil Engineer Squad of Langley Air Force Base, who helped build that Peninsula Literacy Council float.
And I want to say the Peninsula Literacy Council and Conti's Bike and Fitness Shop won an honorable mention tonight for that float, which John helped put together with a whole lot of work. Now, you ought to be able to recognize these people. That's how you get your Christmas cards or holiday cards every year. The United States Postal Service. We deliver for you.
Santa's helpers getting the mail through on time, as long as you mail early.
I wanted to make sure you're wrapping up all your packages if you're going to send them through the mail. You know, they usually say it takes a couple of weeks before Christmas. So you've got today's December 4th. And that means about another week or so before I better hurry up and get those gifts out to the Midwest.
Been getting my first Christmas cards today, so they're on the job and getting it done. Here's the Zem comment number 98, daughters of Odysseus.
These are the men of the Temple of the Zem Temple 122. And of course, all of the Shriners and temple groups do so many great charitable things during the year. You know, you really can't say enough about the people of Hampton Roads who contribute so much time and effort, not only during parades like this, but also to try to help our community become a much better place to live. And we certainly thank all these people for coming out tonight and making such an effort.
This Shrine and Daughters group is a benevolent organization, and as Kathy said, they lend help to needy in hospitals, local and national fundraising projects, and they also give out a number of local scholarships to needy high school students.
And they usually have a great job decorating those pheasants. They always wear, too. Now, we have a number of people that we could name on all of these floats, but I must say, you almost hate to do that in a lot of ways, John, because so many people have contributed so much to putting this parade together.
It's amazing, Kathy, that it's not only the organizations, but the organizations will reach out and touch other people who will also help contribute who aren't directly associated with each organization. So it's a real community effort. It's a community parade put on by the community for the community. And a lot of organizations not listed here have been involved in helping decorate and get the floats and all the preparation that goes in.
Now, you certainly should be able to recognize fire units.
certainly can hear them if you can't recognize them.
I was going to say they're right behind us in our ear.
We're going to take a quick break here and come back and get more of the Hampton Holidays Parade in just a moment.
The Spirit of Hampton Road's Holidays Parade will continue after this.
Kathy, the Kecoughtan High School band's going for a three-peat. They were the best band in the Holidays Parade in 91 and 92.
And you know, they'd probably love it if you'd contribute some money. We just saw that Florida is going to the Sugar Bowl. Well, so is the Kecoughtan Marching Band. The Kecoughtan Warriors will be part of the halftime entertainment there. It's the largest band in the city of Hampton. And also Kecoughtan happens to be the largest school in the city of Hampton with 1,665 kids. Let's take a listen.
Kathy, here comes my neighbor. This is Christine Fink. She is Miss Junior America from Newport News, an 11-year-old 6th grade student from Gildersleeve Middle School. She has been seen on the after-school break special for CBS and Big Brother Jake. She is the celebrity in our neighborhood.
I was going to say, she's made it bigger than we have, John.
Certainly
Good for
has.
Christine, and all at 11 years old. I saw the resume that she had sent. It's like, it's amazing to think that at 11 that you could possibly have that many achievements already behind you.
And she's a great student. I read to her class and Agby's class at Gildersleeve just a couple of weeks ago. A good young lady.
Dixie Trailer Sales would love to have your business during the holiday season. You know, maybe that would be great to find under your tree, John, a recreational vehicle of some sort.
It is great. That's a new Coronado motorhome. That has everything. And, of course, Dixie Trailer Home is the largest RV dealer in Hampton Roads. That is a beautiful, beautiful vehicle.
I don't know where they got the snow from, though.
Probably came from out west and pulled in. We'll be back with more from the Hampton Holidays Parade
when we come back.
The Spirit of Hampton Road's Holidays Parade will continue after this.
Well, this is the Buckrow Volunteer Fire Company and Rescue Squad. It was first organized in 1941. I'm happy to say that all of the volunteer rescue squads and fire squads in Hampton have people here tonight, but I know that they have plenty of other people staffing the fire stations in the event that something terrible might happen, and we sure hope it doesn't.
Well, they're having a good time. They do a lot of great work and a lot of community service, and they're always on hand for such things, not only for protection for house fires and that sort of thing, but football games, events at the Coliseum. These guys work hard all the time.
And frankly, we need these, all of the fire and rescue people, a whole lot. So we're thankful that they could be with us this evening.
Make sure you support them when they come knocking with their little fund drives throughout the year, because they're there to help you when you need it.
I was going to say, we may need them someday.
This is the GSH Real Estate Group, and every year their office makes and decorates and fills and delivers Christmas stockings to the elderly in Hampton. And they also paint faces at Bay Days. You've probably seen them there. And money they raise there, they give to the homeless. Just a few of the activities that GSH Real Estate is involved in.
I'm sure somebody on somebody's list would love to have a new house for Christmas.
That would be nice. That would be nice. And I think they can arrange it if you just give them a call. They can fix that up if you're
Sure would be nice if somebody else would pick up the mortgage, though.
Yeah, that I don't know they can arrange. This is the Hampton Corvette Club. If you own a Corvette, you're probably familiar with this organization. They just like to have a good time and preserve this fine American car. Some of the drivers are from Hampton University.
Corvettes, of course, are a very American tradition. Cruising in your Corvette in the 60s was the thing to do.
Heading down the strip, back and forth.
And there are people today who believe that this is the only car to own.
This guy was Boy Scout Troop 219 and Cub Scout Pack 219. They are sponsored by the Antioch Baptist Church in Hampton. They're involved with church and community activities. They do things like distribute flyers to the Jericho March throughout the city of Hampton, and that march focuses, as we probably know, on preventing child abuse, spousal abuse, and stopping the spread of drugs, alcohol, and crime in our city.
Well, we certainly hope that you put your food out 2 Saturdays ago so that they could collect it and take it to the local food banks. The Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts do so many wonderful things, not only for the community, but also in helping boys and girls grow into productive citizens. My years of being a Girl Scout, I know, were very productive. I had a great time.
And you're still involved.
Yes, I'm on the Girl Scout Council board and hope that everybody will consider Girl Scouting. We're making a real effort to try to reach out to the community as much as we can because, you know, we all need a little help every once in a while, and it's a great way to grow and meet girls, Girl Scouting.
This is Girl Scout Troop 1421. They're from East Hampton Service Unit 605, joined by their leaders and assistant leaders, marching very proudly through Old Hampton tonight.
Now this is a brownie troop. You know, you start kind of, you grow from brown to green.
Get them while you're young, as Evita used to say. Their director is Ginny Dickerson, the troop leader. Many of those on the float are dressed as storybook characters. This is Northampton Service Unit 607. 300 girls with 50 adult volunteers who provide fun and challenging program for girls at all ages. They do things like bowl-a-thons and mother-daughter teas.
And I bet some of those girls were their best Christmas present to their parents.
Absolutely. One that keeps on giving through the years.
Now we're coming up to the best float. Now, the Cub Scouts of Pack 151 have obviously been working incredibly hard on this particular float.
These Cub Scouts and their moms and dads actually built it, and they have the bruises and the bumps and some of the torn clothes to prove it for the Cub Scouts, but it might take weeks for that red and green paint to come off the skin and some of their clothes, but they've done a great job.
I was going to say they had written us some parade commentary and said, look at this next float. Is it Santa's sleigh? A conveyor belt full of presents. A winter workshop. Santa's elves. Must be Santa's North Pole workshop.
And this is the best float in the parade.
This is the best float in the Hampton Holidays Parade for 1993. And I must say, it looks like it took an immense amount of work to put that together.
Even have a little elf coming out of the roof there, a little Cub Scout. The judging for the floats was done at 4:30 this afternoon over at Darling Stadium. They got the floats there early and did the judging, so we know the winners as they come by. A lot of great presents in that sleigh, too.
Some of the boys in Boy Scout Troop 151 and Cub Scout Pack 151 made some presents, and they're handing them out along the route.
It's great. Here comes the Bethel High School Bruin Marching Band. And Kathy, these guys came into the Chicago area and marched in Brock's Holiday Parade and won an award there. And they have also, as a band, adopted 5 children from WVEC's Angel Tree, and they are going to make sure that those 5 children have a great Christmas. So Bethel High is to be commended for all their good work.
Bethel was built in 1958, and it has a current student enrollment of 1,699 kids. As you might be able to tell, the school colors are green and gold. There are 105 teenagers in this band. Bethel High School Band. This is the Bethel High School Army Junior ROTC. The Bruin Battalion has been in existence since 1968. And they tell us it's one of the most popular elective courses at Bethel High School.
And they teach things like good citizenship and helping out others. And in our business, Kathy, we hear a lot of bad things about what children and kids are doing these days, but you look at these bands and the ROTC units and Cub Scouts and all the good that they do, it's a good thing to say.
And we're coming up to the lottery next. Please come back after we pick 3 and 4.
Check our ticket.
Welcome to the second half of the Spirit of Hampton Road's Holidays Parade. This portion of the broadcast is sponsored by Hampton Chevrolet GOG-Pigo, wishing you a safe and happy holiday. By the Hampton office of GSH Real Estate. The power is in the partnership. By Dixie Trailer Sales Limited, Hampton Road's exclusive dealer of Coronado Motorhomes by Fleetwood. And by the Daily Press, your Hampton Roads paper.
Well, it is one fine night for a parade in downtown Hampton. There are hundreds of people who agree with us. They're standing on the street right behind us.
This is the Northampton Cheerleading Association. They have 5 teams of cheerleaders ranging in age from 4 to 15 years old. And they stress that positive attitude and athletic excellence are the keys to making their organization a real success.
And they're followed up by the Northampton Volunteer Fire Company and Rescue Squad, celebrating 40 years of service to the citizens of Hampton in the Northampton section.
This group provides instructors for Hampton's Fire Training Center and manpower to the Fire Prevention Bureau in order to teach safety and help save lives throughout the city of Hampton.
And I can tell you, nobody can honk louder than a fire
They
truck.
won the award on honking today.
You know, what did some of the folks say along the parade route, Don, when you were talking to them? Did it seem pretty like it was jovial?
Everybody was in a really good mood and very festive. The holiday spirit, I think, has come on them, and they were just real good to see their friends and neighbors. We're happy to see them walking along the way. So it's a good feeling both walking in the parade and watching the parade too.
I know, I was thinking about Billy Ray Cyrus today, thinking that he's at the Coliseum tonight, but there's still hundreds of people here in downtown Hampton enjoying a different kind of music, Christmas music instead of Achy Breaky Heart.
Here comes the Hampton City Schools Transportation Department. Now these guys operate the buses, a minimum of 84 buses running more than 5,000 students back and forth from school, from elementary school and vocational school, special ed classes, and they go around the world each year approximately 31 times in the amount of miles that they drive getting our children to and from school.
Now that's a job you gotta respect, because driving a bus load of kids around takes a whole lot of patience.
That it does, especially on Fridays and days before holidays and long vacations. They do a great job, and they keep the children very safe and, for the most part, seated in their seats.
Now this is a car you'd love to have, maybe not as your daily go-to-work kind of car, but certainly as a car to bring out and enjoy a parade in. This is Thompson Ford.
We've been serving Hampton for over 31 years. It's a great-looking vehicle. Followed up by St. Mary's Cub Scout Pack number 9. St. Mary's Star of the Sea is in Phoebus. It is managed by the Dominican Sisters of Nashville, established first in 1923. It has grades pre-kindergarten through 8th grade. They sponsor Cub Scout Pack number 8.
And an appropriate Christmas theme with Noah's Ark. The kids probably went on 2x2.
They helped build that float.
Now, I'm surprised these folks aren't at Billy Ray Cyrus, WCMS, which is a locally owned country music station throughout Hampton Roads, has thousands of listeners, celebrates its 40th birthday in July of 1994. They're probably leaving directly from here to go to the concert.
Probably. It might be Billy Ray up on the top of the float. It's hard to see.
We can start that rumor.
Well,
country is the hottest thing around these days.
It is, and it is not Billy Ray Cyrus. Not even Vince Gill up there. This is the Tab cheerleaders.
Absolutely, from York County, the Tab Tigers.
They give a football and cheerleading experience to both girls and boys from 6 to 14 years of old. It helps develop teamwork, social and physical conditioning, their skills. They've been in existence since 1960, and 2 people came out of that program, Terry Kirby of the Miami Dolphins and Chris Slade of the New England Patriots, and they are doing very well these days.
Those youth football leagues are simply amazing, how well they're organized and how many kids get involved.
This is the Knights of Columbus and Peninsula Catholic High School float.
The Peninsula Catholic High School students, in fact, helped build the float of the Knights of Columbus. They were happy to do it. Probably did it after school, though.
Probably, and there are plans to build a new school coming up in the near future. But they've got a nicely lighted. I drove by Peninsula Catholic the other morning on the way in to do the morning news, and they have some nice decorations on the outside of the school.
Now, those people who are familiar with the Crabbers will recognize this next band, the Hampton High School Marching Band, 104 years old, the pride of the Peninsula.
West Virginia to participate in a festival over there come the spring. The band is 95 members strong, and they sound good.
And we'll be back in just a moment.
The Spirit of Hampton Road's Holidays Parade will continue after this.
Welcome back.
We're more than halfway through the Hampton Holidays Parade, and glad you're with us.
We welcome you back. I'm John Miller.
And I'm Kathy Barnstorff.
Out on a great night in downtown Hampton. Temperature is much more reasonable than it was last year at this time when we were forced to be inside. This is very seasonable tonight.
And these young women are Vision of Charm and Manners. In fact, that's where an academy they go to. Classes are offered to girls from 6 to 16. Charm and Manner classes are held at Northampton Community Center. They don't just learn charm and manners, though. They help out at churches and socials and do some department store modeling as well.
And coming up behind them, the Nansemond River Marching Warriors, under the direction of Michael Carson. They took first place honors at Norfolk State University's Band Day competition, also the Suffolk Peanut Festival and Suffolk's Christmas Parade, and we're glad to have them in Hampton tonight.
St. Nansemond River is one of the youngest high schools in Hampton Roads, and it was only built in 1990.
One of the unifying forces of the school is the band. They're very instrumental in keeping the spirit of that new school alive and building every day.
Such a great job, but that's particularly impressive when you figure that wasn't even a school until 3 years ago, that those teenagers could get together and sound like that.
They're doing a great job. Also doing a great job, the Menchville High School Air Force Junior Officer Training Corps. And their goal is to develop citizens, strengthen and develop character. This corps is 20 years old at Menchville High School. It has also been selected as a meritorious unit for the last 4 years by the United States Air Force.
And it looks like it's well attended. A lot of Newport News kids are obviously in the Menchville Junior Air Force ROTC because they can barely squeeze into the parade route.
There are a lot of them, and they're all marching in step.
This is not only great training for a lot of the high school students, but they can also go on into the Air Force fairly quickly afterwards, and they're kind of already in step with the military services that they represent.
Here comes the .4-H Kids Club. Kids at Work 4-H Club, a youth education program of the Cooperative Extension Service. You wouldn't think that you'd find 4-H in Hampton Roads, but you do, and it's alive and it's very well. They are assisting youth in acquiring knowledge, developing life skills, and forming attitudes that will help them become productive citizens and get them through this kind of chaotic life we go through every once in a while.
And it's one of those things I always forget what the 4-H's stand for. It's hands, heart, health, and home, I believe. But I may be wrong.
Two Midwesterners and we can't get the 4-H's.
Now you, if you would like, can take this trolley through downtown Hampton any time of year, but particularly during the holiday season, for free. You can pick it up in front of our studio at the Radisson Parking Garage, which is where our bureau is in Hampton, and you can take this trolley ride and it will ride you throughout downtown Hampton. It doesn't cost a cent.
And it's a great ride. It's a great way to get around. Here come the East Hampton Athletic Association, Fightin' Gators and the Lady Gators. They are a new association for youth in the Hampton Rec League. And they're out with all their members.
When you see all of the organizations that are available for kids now, it kind of makes you wonder, you know, A, how so many people have so much time to be able to contribute to this, and B, why more people don't take advantage of them.
Well, the volunteers are to be commended when they get out and they work with our young people and keep them off the streets and try and head them in the right direction. It takes an awful lot of people, a lot of commitment, and the volunteers who do help out, and this organization and all are to be commended for their help.
Because these volunteers are the Telephone Pioneers of America. It's a group of telephone company employees. They volunteer throughout the year.
Rudolph has a nice seat in the head of that cherry picker. waving to all the folks along the side. His nose hasn't lit up yet, but I'm sure it will as the temperature begins to drop. Here's the Phoebus Fire Company, organized in 1893. It has 100 years of service to the folks of Hampton and Phoebus. They were proud to host the Virginia State Firemen's Association 107th State Convention, which was held in August.
Now we'll have a special guest at the end of the parade also riding another fire engine, but I'm not going to spoil the surprise. It'll be coming up in a little bit.
We'll keep you in suspense a little bit longer. We're going to take a break and come back with more from the Hampton Holidays Parade in just a moment.
The Spirit of Hampton Roads Holidays Parade will continue after this.
The Phoebus High School Marching Phantoms have been entertaining us during the commercial break, and they have been great.
They not only sound good, they look good, and they're doing some great dancing and high stepping out there. They are really a talented group. The jazz ensemble is part of this marching band. They won the James Madison University Tri-State Jazz Festival 10 times in the past 15 years. And they are getting this crowd going.
Phoebus is the smallest high school in Hampton, but they sure look like they have great school spirit. Definitely a joyous group.
They don't have to do that to keep warm, but they are doing a great job.
It's been a great parade so far. I'm not sure I can figure out which is my favorite float.
There have been some really good floats. The first in show, the Cub Scout float was very, very colorful, very well done.
Yeah, Cub Pack 151.
That's right, they did a good job. And also, this is a special night for you.
Yes?
December the 4th, 15 years ago, ladies and gentlemen. Kathy was hired, started her career at Channel 13. So.
And you know the man to thank for this? John Miller. He was the news director at the time. So I'm happy to have spent 15 years at WVEC. It's been a great 15.
Well, we'll have you for another 15. Just
Thanks.
keep coming back to the Holidays Parade. And we'll come back to more of the Holidays Parade in just a moment. You stay with us, too. Welcome back. We saw the Corvettes a few minutes ago, and now these are the Bugs.
Yes, in fact, my mom has one of these classic cars herself. She has a 1973 VW convertible. Barely lets me drive it.
This is the Peninsula Volkswagen Club, started 8 years ago.
You know, one of the groups we keep talking about saying they do a great job, the York County Sheriff's Office DARE, Drug Abuse Resistance Education Club, teaches kids and adults to resist drugs.
That's a national program, Kathy, as you know. It reaches 5 million students all across our country. Just say no to drugs.
The DARE officers go to schools throughout Hampton Roads, and many communities have DARE, and if you don't have DARE, you might want to check with your local police department if you're not familiar with it. And I'm surprised these kids aren't skating.
But they're still part of the DARE. There's the DARE Bear going by. It's all York County students, part of the DARE program.
These are the people I thought would be skating. I knew they'd come along. The Plaza Skating Club of Hampton. Rollerblading along the parade route, a good aerobic workout tonight.
There's a Ninja Turtle in there too, walking the crowd. It takes hard work, a lot of coordination, and these folks all train and are in competitions locally and also statewide and nationally.
Oh, good. I'm seeing that they have two wheels on their skates, not the rollerblading.
I'm not sure if that's Michelangelo, Donatello,
Raphael.
I'm sure any 7-year-old would be able to tell us in a second.
Now, this is fascinating to me. I grew up in the Midwest, as did you, and we're kind of used to ice hockey. But those are wheels on their feet.
Rollerblades. I think that may be a little more dangerous than ice hockey. But you can play it year-round. That's the advantage.
These kids are good.
Takes great coordination. The Admirals could use a couple of those, I think. This is the members of the Hampton Roads Speed Club.
So as well as acrobatic skating, they also obviously do a little bit of speed skating at the Plaza skating rink. They'll also have a Christmas show and demonstration December 19th at the Plaza. You can call the rink for details. That'll help pay for all of this training that they go through all year long. Okay.
It looks like a race.
That's right.
It's going to be close at the finish line.
Ooh, too close to call. Pretty much neck and neck. We've talked about the civic organizations. The Hampton Roads JCs, of course, are another one of the great ones.
Coming up now, the Hampton Tornadoes youth football cheerleaders and members of that organization. Under York County Youth Football League, they represent kids from Hampton, Newport News, and Langley Air Force Base. And there are a lot of boys and girls out playing youth football these days. This is the weather for it.
The crowd seems really receptive tonight to all of these people, and I think that's probably in part due to the weather.
The weather plays a great part. It is certainly not very cold, and there's a lot of spirit, a lot of enthusiasm, both with the marchers and the people who are watching the parade. And it's just a great night to be out, and downtown Hampton looks beautiful tonight, and everybody's having a really good time. There's more cheerleaders, and again, it is a lot of work by parents and moms to get the cheerleaders and the football players to the practice and back home from the practice and to the games on the weekends and all, and the coaches and the volunteers that keep this thing running. Hats off to all those folks.
Now, I was promised dogs with the Merrimack Dog Training Club.
There's one riding in the little float a little bit.
There are a few walking along. Now I see them.
This was founded in 1947. The club was formed to create a stronger bond of companionship between man and dog and to raise awareness of the responsibilities of dog ownership. This is the only active dog obedience club on the Peninsula, which is licensed by the American Kennel Club.
Canine lovers everywhere can appreciate a good dog training class.
Well, they've got them all to heel without much problem at all.
I think I should take my dog to a dog training class. She doesn't particularly like to do that. Ooh, and a drill team, a drill dog team.
Don't see that much anymore.
We've had a wonderful parade this evening. Great dogs.
You made a promise a little while ago.
I did make a promise. You're absolutely right.
Somebody
and this
was
parade's
coming.
going so beautifully, and there's so many units. We're going to have a special surprise visit from our last guest.
He'll be coming up in pretty soon, just a little bit. Remember your dog this Christmas time, I know.
We'd hope to bring you a special surprise visitor. We're going to try one more time for that. Hopefully he'll get here before the parade ends, but you may just have to wait till December 25th. Did I give it away?
Not yet. The Woodland Wildcats are making their way through. There's a Wildcat marching down the street. More cheerleaders. Oh, there he is.
There's my surprise visitor. I knew he would be here. Now, have you been a good boy, John? Do you
Well,
expect a visit from Santa on the 25th?
I am hoping for a visit, and I'm going to be real good for the next 20-some days, so
That's
I
right.
make sure
21
he will
more
come.
days that you can be good, and hopefully you'll be able to.
I know
make sure
you're on the good girls list.
Well, I hope so.
I know that.
Well, the Hampton Holidays Parade, 80 units strong, 8 bands, and 20 floats. It's been a wonderful evening.
It has been great. People have been great. The units have been just spectacular, and the weather couldn't have been better. The rain held off. It's been a wonderful night in downtown Hampton.
And we want to thank all of the volunteers who made this evening possible. This has been such a great event. Thanks for watching.
Have a great holiday season.